Beloved heart, before we begin, I have a special gift for you. If you've been feeling the intensity of Earth's rising plasma light codes and want to stay centered in your body and heart and energy field, I've created a free light language quantum grounding activation just for you. This transmission will help you stabilize, integrate, and align with the new frequencies flowing onto the planet. Simply join my mailing list. See the link that's in the show notes to receive instant access. Let's ground into the light together. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Welcome back, beloved hearts, to another episode. This is a very special treat that we have here. Today's conversation is a deep-hearted, heart-opening one, especially for those of you who feel strong connection to the ocean, to nature, and to the unseen intelligence that moves through all life. For as long as I can remember, the ocean has been a place of communion for me. I felt a deep, expansive connection with whales and dolphins, not just as magnificent beings, but as carriers of presence, frequency, and ancient wisdom. Their energy has been a teacher for me in ways that are subtle in body and profoundly grounding. And because of that connection, I felt called to bring in another voice, another lens, someone who has devoted her life to listening and learning and translating the healing wisdom of whales and dolphins in her own unique way. My guest today is Anne Gordon. Anne is a guide for the soul and a messenger of dolphin and whale wisdom. So, in this episode, we'll be exploring what the whale and the dolphin consciousness can teach us about healing, presence, and remembrance, especially during times of transition and awakening. We are definitely getting a lot extra support now from the whales and the dolphins who want to talk to us, who want to help us with all these energetic shifts on the planet right now. So, Anne, welcome. So honored to have you here on my podcast.
Thank you, Monica. It's an honor to be here, and I'm excited about sharing with you and your listeners.
Yay! Awesome. We're excited to have the whales and the dolphins with us too. So let's hear about like how a bit of you. Like, how did you get started with all of this and talking? Were you always an animal communicator, or did you always just talk to whales and dolphins?
Well, yeah, it's great. I grew up. I lived in the Pacific Northwest in Washington State, and we lived right near the water. And and my dad had a boat. So many weekends and every summer vacation, we were out boating. And I grew up watching the orca whales. So I've been surrounded by whales my entire life. And it wasn't until much later that the whole spiritual aspect came into it. But I studied biology and animal behavior in university. I've worked as a zookeeper. I trained animals for movies and television for over 20 years. And at one point, I literally started feeling the call of the dolphins. And what that looked like was just thinking about them a lot. I didn't train them ever. Mainly I did land animals, but I just wanted to spend more time with them and read books about them. And so got as much as I could. And I booked a whale watching tour in Washington State. And we went out and we were with what's known as a super pod, which is not very common. It's when there's three southern resident pods in that area, and they're called J, K, and L pods. And that's when they all come together. And it's a magical thing to behold because it's a celebration. Think about the best family reunion you could ever have, right? People you haven't seen in a long time, and you're like, yay, this is great. And you're having fun and you're hugging and you're playing and you're laughing together. Well, that's what the orcas were doing. They were breaching and splashing and racing around and leaping, and it was amazing. And we were with them for 2 hours. Now, looking back, I realized and it was my birthday. So looking back, it was kind of my reconnection with them
Yeah.
and this awakening of this spiritual connection, because I've always had dreams, like probably many of your listeners, that, where I'm with the dolphins and whales, I'm swimming underwater, I can breathe underwater, and I hang out with them as long as possible. And so then in flash forward a few years, I'm now living in California. I'm going out to the coast as much as possible, to the beach, and seeing them as I'm walking along the beach and meditating with them. And then I found out about a school that was, of all places, in Arizona, and it was a dolphin school, basically. It was 6 weekends held over a year and a half, teaching us dolphin living skills, how to live in joy and play and flow, all the things that dolphins represent. And we would get dolphin attunements, an attunement every weekend, and they taught us dolphin energy healing,
Nice.
which ironically was my least interesting part. But as I as I started practicing with partners in the class, I was blown away with their results, what they experienced when I felt like I was doing absolutely nothing. And they were getting these amazing feelings and experiences during the sessions I was giving. So I started playing around with that. And now I've been doing that for well over 20 years. That was in 2004. And I now I'm a certified dolphin energy healer. And now I actually teach a course to certified people. Got to bring the whales in as dolphin whale energy healers. And when I send the energy, it's really interesting because I do not feel energy. I'm not one of those kinds of, that's not one of my gifts. But what is my gift is that I have this steady stream of visions and messages in my head. It's like watching this beautiful movie that I try and translate and share with my clients. And it's just really profound, the messages they have to share with us.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, so everybody has a different way of like channeling their information. I'm more of a body sensation and also but receive the messages too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I have like had dreams where I'm deep in the ocean. Like it's almost like I see cities of like houses in the ocean. And so I
Mm.
feel like there is a remembrance in that for many of us who really feel that deep connection to the ocean. Have you ever felt that, that maybe in your past lives you
Absolutely.
probably
Yeah, I've seen those cities in under the ocean in
you have?
meditations. Oh,
Oh, also.
yeah,
So,
yeah, they're magical. And I didn't even mention that I have been since 2007. I lived in Panama for 15 years, and down there I was the first person to ever offer whale watching tours in that
nice.
country.
Wow.
And I also, that's where I started leading my spiritual whale and dolphin wisdom retreats. And now I'm living back in California, but I am still doing my retreats. I go all over the world. We swim with wild dolphins in Bimini in the Bahamas. We interact with the friendliest whales on earth, the gray whales, who come right up to the boats and let us touch and kiss them.
Oh,
We go to Dominica in the Caribbean, where we swim with sperm whales. Go to Moorea in French Polynesia, where we're swimming with humpback whales. And I have an orca retreat. I have to go back home every year and see my beloved orcas, where it all began. And we do a trip with them up there in the San Juan Islands. So it's really special to take people to, pardon the pun, dive deep into connection with these amazing, powerful, highly conscious beings.
I love the pun, by the way. Bring it on. Yeah, so can you elaborate on the type of whales like the orcas? How do they differentiate to like the others? Like how many different species are there of whales?
So there's about 87 species of dolphins and whales. Biologically speaking, um, they are all whales. All dolphins are whales, but not all whales are dolphins. So whales is the
Ah,
overlying group. Dolphins is a subgroup. of them. And then in the whales, you got it divided into toothed whales, like things that have teeth, like orca whales and pilot whales and beluga whales and sperm whales are the toothed whales. And then you've got the baleen whales, which are the filter feeders, no teeth, but these big filter plates in their mouth. And that's the humpback and the gray whale and the blue whale and the fin whale. And those are all baleen whales. Now, what's fun is each species, what they have shared with me is that each species has, how do I even word it? They represent something unique. So, for example, orca whales represent, they are physically known as the apex predators in the ocean because
Mm.
nothing hunts them, and they can hunt anything from small fish. Some orca populations feed on herring and small fish, and then others feed on mammals like seals, sea lions, even dolphins, even blue whales.
Oh,
So they're and they can hunt. Some focus on great white sharks, eating them.
wow.
So, but what they really represent, besides being the apex predator, is they represent, and this may sound a little strange after what I just shared about their hunting, harmony and balance, because they're keeping everything in balance.
Yes.
And if you look at an orca on the top, they're black and white, but from the top, they're mostly black with some white on them.
Yeah.
But if you look at them from underneath, they're mostly white with some black. So really on their body, they're about 50-50 white and black. So even their body has this balance of dark and light color. And so they talk to me about balancing, because we all have dark thoughts, we all have negative
Yeah.
thoughts, right? Of balancing that dark and light within us,
Yes.
right? And
Shadow
then
and light. Yep.
the shadow and the light, and they make friends with it. They embrace it. They're not trying to like avoid it and ignore it like we
I love
humans are
that.
really good at.
Yeah.
So really, really powerful in this harmony and balance. And the mammal eaters in the Pacific Northwest, where you have the southern residents are salmon eaters. But the transients, or the bigs, killer whales, they eat the mammals. They eat seals, sea lions, dolphins. They don't usually go after the big whales, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't want to watch them eating a seal or a dolphin," and I totally get that. It's not a pretty sight. Um, However, what they have shared with me is that these mammal-eating orcas are aware that in the Northwest, everything is eating salmon. The southern residents are eating salmon. The seals are eating salmon. The sea lions are eating salmon. The dolphins are eating salmon. Even the humans are eating salmon. So they don't go after humans, but they go after all the others to take the pressure off their southern resident friends, because they're cousins, because nobody is predating on those other populations eating salmon. So again, they're trying to restore the balance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, do you sense that, like, are there species that seem like older, like much more ancient, or are they all about the same age?
They're all about the same, and they've been on this planet scientifically verified for at least 30 million years
Mm-hmm.
in their current form,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, if you think about that in comparison, we humans, as in our current form, and not even in our current form, in the like Neanderthal forms and such,
Right.
we've only been here about 250,000 years. That's like a mere blip in
Yeah.
comparison to I mean, the dolphins and whales have had 40 million, 30 million years to decide to learn how to live in harmony and balance with this planet.
Mm-hmm.
We are the new kids on the block, and they think of us like we are toddlers, right? So we think of a 2-year-old who has a temper tantrum, mad at a 2-year-old who has a temper tantrum because we know the little one doesn't quite understand how to deal with life's frustrations yet. So
Yeah.
we guide them, we teach them, we love them through it. Well, they think of us the same way as a species. Because some people ask me, well, aren't the whales mad at us? Don't they want revenge for all the horrible things we're doing to the ocean, to the earth, right?
Mm.
Pollutions and microplastics and all the
Which is
things.
a great question. Yeah.
It's a great question. But no, they don't think that's a human way to think.
Yeah, it is.
Think that way. They are just like the parent who doesn't get mad at the 2-year-old for having a meltdown. They look at us, they're holding space for us as a species to grow and to mature and to learn how to handle and deal with life's frustration instead of reacting with greed or fear, which is
Mm.
how many humans do react, like hoarding all the resources. It's like, no, 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 the dolphins or whales are here to teach us there is enough, there's enough for everybody. And if we just all share and get along, it all works perfectly.
Yes, that's the key, is harmonizing one another because there is
Exactly.
plenty of everything in abundance.
Exactly.
So scientifically, though, speaking of that, I had heard that at some point the whales actually could walk on land even before they went into the ocean.
Correct. Well, here's the thing. We all started in the ocean, way back
Yeah,
evolutionary,
yeah.
right? And life began in the ocean. So we all started there. And then some evolved to live on land, and that became reptiles, dinosaurs, birds, insects, and mammals.
Hmm.
And there was one group of mammals that then decided to go back to the ocean. Think of like a sea lion who can walk on land
Yeah.
but can swim easily on in the water and eats in the water. So to take advantage of a resource, meaning fish and food in the oceans, the ancestors of the whales and the dolphins went into the ocean. Yes.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I think they had gone back and they stayed was for us. Do they ever share information on that, why they stayed?
Living in the ocean, think about it. It's a really kind of carefree life. There's food everywhere and you're fully supported, right? When you swim in the ocean, you can float super easy with the salt water in there. It's much easier to float in the ocean than it is in fresh water. And so if you are, a 50-ton humpback whale, you could never survive on land. And a blue whale, a blue whale's tongue is larger than an elephant. So there's
Crazy.
no
Yeah.
way that they can live on land.
Yeah.
But by being in the water, it allows them to grow these amazing bodies and survive and have enough resources to be able to fill their bellies easily. I mean, blue whales are the largest creatures to have ever lived on Earth, larger than the largest dinosaur. They eat the smallest, they eat little tiny krill, and you never see a skinny blue whale.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They are literally the whales are the masters of abundance.
Yeah,
And
for
in
sure.
right? And in fact, science has proven that the more whales that are in the ocean eating krill and fish, there's not less krill and fish. There's actually more.
Wow,
So it's
interesting.
kind of contrary to what you might think
Yeah.
and what fishermen might tell you. Because what happens when you eat, well, it goes through the body, it digests, And the poop that comes out of a whale is rich in nitrogen.
Hmm.
And that nitrogen is what is needed by the plankton. So the more nitrogen, the more whales in the water, the more nitrogen in the water, the more nitrogen, the more plankton, which is the building block of the entire food chain in the ocean. So the more
Mhm.
plankton, the more food for every form of life in the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah. So whales, just by being whales, create their own abundance.
Yeah, I love that. And that's how
I know,
they teach us.
right?
So I can imagine though, like being in person in their presence, because you said in the retreats you swim with them. That's
Sometimes we do. Yeah. Sometimes we're swimming right next to sperm whales or humpback whales. And I
wow.
mean, when they're the size of a city bus and they're that far away, it's amazing.
What do people say after that? Do they get like an instant healing? Because I imagine their frequency and their presence, in their physical form is super healing.
It's very healing. It's very obviously awe inspiring. It is so transformational and it's hard to put into words.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing like it when this whale. Now, we don't, obviously, there's nothing we can do with our little human bodies swimming in the ocean that can chase a whale down. And so, what we do is we find the whales, they're usually a resting whale, usually a mom and calf, and they're resting down below. And we just, on the surface, we don't dive down on top of them. We don't try and force ourselves. We just float as a group, just stay in one spot. And then the baby often has to come up for breath air more than mom does. So it'll come up and take a few breaths of air and go, oh, oh. And then it will come over and check us out. And they
Oh,
can be like puppies and they get very roly poly and silly and switching and twirling and coming right next to us. It's quite incredible.
yeah. So scientifically, though, also studies are showing like their sounds, right? The frequency of the whale sound is very shifting in us. Like it's healing and it's so many other things, I guess, they're finding right now with their studies.
It's so powerful. One of my favorite things ever is when we're with the humpback whales, because they're the ones who sing these incredible mystical songs.
Yeah.
And when we find a singer, so here's how the singing works. They sing, and I'm not a music person, but musically, if you take the components of a song, the songs of the humpback whale have the exact same components as any, composed piece of music.
Yeah.
So it is a true song, and it's only the males that sing.
Really.
Nobody knows why. It was originally thought that they are trying to attract females. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's true with birds and frogs that sing, but it is not true with humpback whales because I've seen a lot of singer whales and the females completely ignore them. So we don't know why technically. Um, One thing they have shared with me is that they are singing into the ley lines and energizing the
Oh,
ley lines
interesting.
of the
Yeah.
earth and
Yeah.
aligning everything. And they also have told me that they're singing their lineage,
Wow.
which is amazing because they generally only sing during the time of year where the babies are being conceived and born. Their gestation's about 11, 12 months. And so when they sing their lineage, the brand new babies and newborns are hearing it and receiving it. And the brand new fetuses that are being conceived are also being conceived in that song.
Oh, interesting.
So it's fascinating. And one of my favorite things to do is when we find a singer, it's a male, and he will usually just be head down in the water, just in one position. And we will float above him. Oh my gosh, it's the most incredible feeling because the sounds are so loud. You can feel the vibrations within your body. And it doesn't even sound like you're hearing it with your ears. It's like coming from the center of your head.
Yeah.
It's just oftentimes we don't even see the whale. We just know he's down there and we're just listening. And
Wow.
the song usually goes for about 20 minutes and you can just lay there with your snorkel on and just get lost in that song. It's amazing.
Wow, that is amazing. Have you ever recorded any of them or
I actually have a whole album that I have recorded with I mean it's not, it's just a collection of songs. It's 12 songs. Some are as short as 2 minutes, others are as short as the recordings. The songs were longer than that. The recordings, and then the longest recording I have is 40 minutes of what.
wow. So was there ever a reason that they gave why the females don't sing?
Unlock your limitless potential with the monthly multiversal circle of creation. This sacred quantum manifestation ritual will awaken your inner power and connect you to the successful versions of yourself across the multiverse. Clear blocks, amplify your creative energy, and set powerful intentions for abundance, love, and possibilities. Activate your galactic aspects, recalibrate your nervous system, and manifest your dreams with cosmic clarity. Available in person and via Zoom. Join us for this transformative experience today.
At the time that the males are singing, the females are busy. The
Oh,
females are busy. They are making babies and having and taking care of babies. It's all about the babies for the females.
okay.
So they're busy with their little ones or conceiving little ones. And as soon as they conceive, first thing they do is they head out. They take off and they go back. Because the breeding, birthing areas are different areas than they feed. So they generally go to tropical areas, warmer waters, like Panama, like Moorea, like Tonga, like Australia, like Hawaii. And that's where they breed and give birth.
Okay.
But there's not the kind of food that they need there. So sometimes they will go completely without eating.
Wow.
A mother humpback whale will be feeding her calf between 50 and 100 gallons of milk every single day, and she's eating nothing.
Wow.
But when it is not breeding birthing season, then she migrates to the polar region, the Arctic or the Antarctic, depending on which way she came from. And then when they are there, they are eat, 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 eat. They're eating machines. And on the way to be able to sustain them
Yeah.
during the birthing breeding area. So when a female gets pregnant, conceives, first thing she does is leave, because what happens when you're newly pregnant? What do you got to do? You got to eat, because you're now eating for two. So she leaves. So the reason the females don't sing is because they're focused on baby and taking care of, and migrating. So the males have more free time because their job during birthing breeding season is to find females to breed with, right? And they
Mhm.
do a fair amount of that. But during the time when there's not an interested female around, then they're singing.
Wow. Interesting. So the now the dolphins do they sing or I usually when I tap into them it's always like a playful, joyful frequency to
Yes.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. Dolphins totally represent joy and play, and they're always telling us that we don't play enough. And we don't, as
We
adult
don't.
humans, we don't. When's the last time you laughed till your belly hurt? Not
Exactly.
very often. Sometimes it can be years. So they're always telling us to laugh and be enjoying more. And they don't sing songs like the humpback whales do, but they do have sounds. They have whistles and
Mhm.
squeaks and squawks that they make. And then their echolocation is a series of clicks that they have.
Hmm.
So they have a whole repertoire of language, and they have something that is known as a signature whistle. And so that's basically their name.
Okay.
And so it's even been recorded where a pregnant female keeps repeating her signature whistle because she's training the fetus what her name is.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And I just had an interesting experience just this year. I was swimming with some pilot whales in Moorea, and usually they're not so interactive and they just, swim past us and that's it. Well, these guys were much more interactive. It was all males, this spread out group of males, pod of males. And one of them was swimming quite close to us and directly underneath us and around us. And he kept making the same sound over and over and over and over and over again, kind of a sound. I can't duplicate it well at all. And he kept doing that. And I realized he's doing his signature whistle.
Oh,
And so I started repeating it. In my clunky way, my very human ease accent of dolphin sound, a pilot whale sound. But as I thought about it later, I thought, is he calling his signature whistle to me, to us, or is he calling the name that he knows for us? Is that the word he uses for us? I don't know which it was, but it was fun to interact with him in that way.
yeah. Maybe it was both
Well,
somehow.
it was the same word, so it was the same exact sound, so it was one or the other.
Sounds like a energy name almost, like a sound name.
Yeah, it could have been something else too, but he kept repeating it. So whatever it was important to him in that moment.
Wow, that's really fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah, it almost feels to me like a bit of light language, that they're speaking in their own
sure.
language.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is their own. I mean, I think they're the originators of light language,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the sensation I get from them. Um, they've been carrying it around with them for eons. Now, the dolphins, though, are they about the same age as the whales? Like 30
Yes.
million? Wow.
30 million. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating.
Hmm.
Um, so with the going back to the whales, right? Whales and dolphins, do they ever interact with one another, or are they always like separate? Like,
No, they interact fairly often. I mean, they're like cousins, extended
yeah,
family. And it's not uncommon, especially when whales are swimming faster, that the dolphins will come. You know how dolphins will often ride in front of a boat? They will do the same thing to a whale. They will ride in front of the whales. It's super fun. I've seen it. I've seen it a number of times. It's really fun to watch. And this year in Moorea, we actually saw it underwater. We saw a pod of rough-toothed dolphins, maybe about 7 or 8 of them, and 2 humpback whales were swimming. They were all swimming, but the dolphins were all right in front of them. It was super fun.
I get the sense they were playing with the whale.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun. And what was cool is that was when we first saw them, and we were watching them underwater, and then all of a sudden the whales were like, "Oh, people!" And it's like they left the dolphins, kind of abandoned the dolphins, and came over to play with us.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, so do you feel that they have a message for us? Um, whenever you feel like ready for a channel, I guess.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to channel them for you. So what I'll do is I will tap connect in. I will close my eyes, and they usually have an opening message. And then if you have any questions you'd like to ask yourself or on behalf of your listeners, just go ahead and ask.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So here we go. Welcome, dear ones. We are honored to be here with you. We are pleased to be able to share with you in this way. And you asked previously if we have a message for you. Our message for humanity is we could put it in one word, it would be gentleness. That your race, your species needs more gentleness. There is, as we energetically look at many humans, what we see is many hard edges, almost like a piece of jagged ice that are sharp and defensive. And it is a way of protecting your hearts, when in reality, the best way to protect your heart is to soften and to release those hard edges, to let others in, to let others love you, to be gentle. If you become more gentle, then others around you will also soften and be gentle as well. You will give them permission to be gentle, and that will melt and soften the hard edges, even if just a little bit, for those who are holding on to that defenses. That gentleness is the key. Compassion, and of course, unconditional love. Loving others, even if you do not understand them or do not agree with anything they do or are about or stand for. When you unconditionally love someone, it does not mean you approve of their thoughts, words, or behaviors. It means you hold a space for their heart to grow, expand, and soften. It means you see that there is someone lovable inside there, even with that armor of sharpness. Inside all humans, all beings, is a beautiful, loving heart. And that is the most important thing to connect to, no matter what is shown on the outside. And that is how you can feel compassion, empathy, and unconditional love for someone that is the polar opposite of you. So, gentleness is something that if you all embrace, become softer, gentler, your world will become a much happier place. Do you have any questions for us?
Thank you for that beautiful message. This year in particular has been very challenging for so many of us humans because of the constant change and the extreme loss. So, what can you say to comfort so many in their extreme changes?
It is much the same as what we've just shared, in that there are some who are holding tight to this armor of sharpness, to their defenses. And so what is happening right now is that some are clinging to their fear and their anger and their greed, for on the surface, that is the only way they know how to be. And it terrifies them to soften. They see that as weakness. We see it as strength. And there are those like you and many of your listeners who are soft already and loving and kind. and trying to live life that way. And then you have this hardness that is throwing their power around, which is causing a division. And those of you who are spiritual and soft and loving are feeling beaten down and feeling the divide widen. And part of that is true. And what is needed most as that divide happens, and as the people governed by fear and anger and chaos, they need the love even more now. We also understand it is hard for you to love people doing what you consider horrible, horrible things, committing atrocities against other humans, against the earth, against the ocean. Yet, the reason they're doing those things is because they are afraid to feel love. For most of them may have never felt loved. And that is what they crave the most. So we are telling you to be strong in your softness. There is a beautiful strength and power in your love. You are really much stronger than those acting out of fear and greed. It's just that they know how to manipulate their world to affect so many others. But there are many more like you who believe in love, believe in faith, believe in hope and kindness. And if you just focus your thoughts, even for a few minutes every day, on those acting out of fear and anger, will soften them just the slightest bit. And every day, a little more and a little more and a little more. And let go of needing to see the results. It will take time. But the more of you who do this, the faster it will come to be.
Mhm.
So be hopeful and be strong in your softness.
Beautiful.
Anything else you would like from us?
Yes. So, how can we connect with you more?
That is easy. You can, of course, come to spend time with us. And we realize that not everybody can travel, and it is not necessary to physically be with us to connect with us. You can watch videos of us. You can listen to our songs, and our sounds. You can read books about us, and you can invite us into your dreams and into your meditations. And you can even play games with us, in that you can ask us to show up in your life. You can ask the dolphins, you can ask the whales, show me a sign that you are with us. And then don't be surprised if the next thing you're driving to the grocery store and there is a bumper sticker with a whale on it. Or the person in front of you in line at the grocery store has a t-shirt with a dolphin on it. That is us, reminding you we are always here for you.
Excellent. I have no other question, but if there's any final thoughts you would like to share with us.
Just thank you for this opportunity to share with you, and do not be afraid to be gentle. to be kind, and to show and share your heart with the world. That is what is most important in this world right now. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
That
Now,
was fun.
do
Yeah,
you remember your channel, or
I do. I do.
you're more of a conscious channeler? Yeah.
I'm a conscious channel, and it's kind of like, oh, I never thought of it that way before. It's fun when it comes through. Yeah.
It feels fun to me. Like that's
Yeah.
the sensation I was getting from it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so thank you so much for that message, coming through you.
My pleasure. There's so much love. They're just nothing but love. Just imagine
Yeah.
this wave of love washing over you as you listen to that.
Yeah, I feel it. For sure. For the listeners, who are listening, go back and re-listen to that because it sounds like a very simple thing, but it's also very deep as the
Yep.
ocean and
Yep.
as deep as their wisdom goes. Um,
Right.
and yeah, because I always get the sense from them, the gentleness, they're always just being, as massive as they are. They're always taking their time, and it's like there's no rush in the things that we do. And I feel like, because sometimes we get so much into the rat race that we get so distracted by the outward external noise and distractions that we forget to take our time in the things and the gentleness, of our
Yep.
being in the
Absolutely.
present.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's been such a joy and a pleasure to share all this with you. And I have a fun, like, I love a free meditation I'd love to like share with your audience in
Yes.
that if they want. It's called the Being Whale meditation. And I guide it. And basically I guide you into, you meet a mother humpback whale, and you get to look her deep in the eye, and you get to literally merge with her and
Hmm.
feel what it feels like to be whale. So that is my gift to all of you.
Thank you so much. That's a beautiful gift. And I just want to tell the listeners that all of Anne's contact information is in the episode notes, as well as the free gift is in the show notes. So definitely do check out her guided meditation and yeah, reach out for any retreats, right? As
Right.
well. You probably are planning, I think you're planning some next year.
Yeah, I've got one, two, three, four, five different destinations. We're going to starting the year off in March with the gray whales, who come again right up to the boat, and they represent forgiveness, because gray whales were known as, by the whalers hunting them, as the devilfish,
Oh,
because they were the only species that actually fought back against the whalers. All the other types of whales were just try and flee. And now they are the friendliest whales on earth, coming right up to our boats and bringing their newborn calves, literally
wow.
pushing them up. I've had mothers drop their calf off and go take a nap and let us babysit.
Don't even
And
ask, right? Just drop them off.
right, just drop out. She goes up there and takes a nap, and we're like, okay, we'll play with baby. Uh, so they have forgiven the human race
Wow.
for wiping them all. They were on the brink of extinction from the whalers, but they
Yeah.
have given all of us. They don't
Mhm.
hold it against us, and they're all about forgiveness.
Yeah.
So we do that in March. In June, we are swimming with wild dolphins in the crystal clear waters of Bimini. In April, we are swimming with sperm whales. In September, we are hanging out with the orca whales in the Pacific Northwest. And then in August and in October, we are in Moorea swimming with those beautiful humpback whales.
Wow. So it feels like, there's this resilience that they have in their heart, the whales.
Yes,
And I
that's a good
imagine
way to
their
put it.
heart is bigger than anything, right? Like like literally bigger.
Literally bigger. Well, a blue whale's heart is about the size of a Volkswagen Bug.
Wow.
It's huge. I mean, their arteries are so big that a small adult could even crawl through them.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like how I hear like the horse heart is very healing. That's why I feel like with the whale's heart, it's even 10 times more electric magnetic energy,
Yes.
frequency of energy that is just so much more healing for, it extends miles probably,
Yeah.
ocean miles and land and everything.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes.
but yeah, so to me, that's what it feels like, when you were just sharing the story about the gray whales, this whole resilience of the heart. And that's a
Yes.
message, that I feel like to take away from that because there's things that we hold on, and it goes in line with the channeling we just had, holding on to things of the pain, the loss, and not letting go. Whereas this actually, the gentleness builds the resilience, of the forgiveness.
Yes.
And so that, makes sense. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, so it's a really beautiful message. So definitely, to the listeners, reach out to Anne and go check out her retreats and hang out, with some whales, and also, the guided meditation as well, and stay connected to them because they definitely do want to help us now with what we're going through,
Yes.
with all the extreme changes. So, Anne, I just want to say it's been a pleasure. So, thank you so much for being here with us, my podcast, and with the listeners, and sharing your wisdom and channeling that beautiful message as well.
Well, thank you so much, Monica. Thank you to all of you listening. It's been such a pleasure and a joy, and it's always my deepest joy to share the wisdom of the dolphins and whales with you. So I hope you enjoyed everything that we talked about.
Very much. And thank you so much to all the listeners for your time to be here with us right now.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.